Hello, this is Heather Hoffman, and I'm here today to share some tips and tricks with you for die cutting your intricate dies, particularly those lovely intricate cover dies. I'm going to be demonstrating today with the Geo Floral background and the Geo Leaf background, and I'm going to show an example using both a manual die cut machine and an electronic die cut machine. I'm starting off here with my Spellbinders Platinum, and one of the biggest things you can do if you use your die cut machine, you might notice the plates kind of tend to get a little bit warped. It really works well if your cutting plate, even the top plate, if you rotate those every cut or two, the more you do it, the better it's going to keep those flat. The other really helpful thing with an intricate die like this is to use a metal shim. You can get these in many different brands. They're just a thin sheet of metal that's going to allow some extra cutting pressure onto those intricate dies. All right, I have a panel of white cardstock. This is Neenah 110-pound cardstock. And I went ahead and taped it in place with some removable tape just so I know it's going to stay where I want it while I run it through my die cut machine. Because this is increasing the pressure, it is going to be harder to put through your die cut machine, but just go slowly. It might feel like kind of scary, like you're going to break it, but as long as you just go slow and gentle, they're made to handle that extra pressure. So don't be afraid. And then when you pull it off, I always look on the back. Sometimes you need to run them through more than once. This metal shim did a really great job, and I could see that all my cut lines were really clearly marked and everything was just ready to pop out of place. Now you can run, at this point, your fingers just kind of over all those die cut pieces to press them out. You can see how easily they pop out. Another tool that you can get is a Spellbinders. This is a tool-in-one. I think there's other varieties that are just a brush tip that kind of you can just see how you can kind of brush over those and those pieces are going to fall out of place. Another option, if you don't have one of those, is just either a piercing tool like I have here or a thin needle, just anything that's small and is going to allow you to kind of poke any of those little straggler pieces out. But you can see you have a perfect, great smooth die cut there just by using those two things. And then that brush tool works really well to clean out the extra pieces out of the metal die as well. All right, now let's move on to our electronic die cut machine. I'm using a Gemini Junior, and for this one I'm going to use the Geo Leaf background. Electronic die cut machine, my plates definitely get, I feel like, more warped than a manual machine, but the added pressure you get just with the electronic machine and not having to crank through, that the machine does all the work for you, it still seems to work great. I still rotate most of my plates as often as I can, just because that rotation, again, helps keep them in place a little bit better. With the Gemini Junior, I do cut down. I know the main manual does suggest to cut up, but I feel like I get a better cut when I place my die cut down. And it does say with the metal shim that comes with the Gemini to cut directly onto that metal shim. And once again, I'm going to look at that back piece, make sure all of my die cuts are cut out really well. And if needed, you can run it through a second time just to make sure you hit all of those parts. That's part of why I leave that tape on, just to kind of hold everything in place so that I can run it through a second time if needed. And you can see the electronic die cut machine, if anything, maybe works even a little bit better on those intricate dies. Less work, my fingers can pop out most of those pieces. And for the little tiny intricate ones, I'm just pulling out my piercing tool to kind of tap those extra little ones out. All right, there you go. You can see both of those pieces are very well die cut and ready to go. Thanks so much for coming by today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon.